The time to buy your favorite sports car? It's now. Japanese, American, and even German sports car markets are tanking in real time. And we've got 6 big hitters that'll show you just how bad it's actually gotten. And you can take advantage. Let's go. And up first is the last M3 coupe ever made, the BMW E92 M3. And yes, we've seen you Bimmer boys try and milk every last drop out of the E92 on the marketplace. Phew, yeah, but trust me, we're at the point of no return. You see, over the last year or so, the E92 M3 market has taken a sizable hit, and you can benefit from it. They've gone down more than 16.5% since last January, taking the average sale price from a pricey 50 grand to just over a cool 40. I mean, that's like a 10K discount on a car that delivers an experience worth way more than that. Trust me, I've owned a couple. Now, we're talking 400 plus horsepower from a heavenly German V8. Oof, I could wake up to that every morning. And oh yeah, this thing revs to the moon and beyond. And a little secret just between you and me, if you want a pre-2013 E92 with the 6-speed manual, they're not 40K or even 30K sometimes. We're talking high 20s for these bad boys. That's a lot of bang for buck. So, the E92 M3. Now, the highest priced one in the past few years is this Frozen Edition, and this paint, you guys, is incredible. This was kind of a final send-off deal, and just look at how beautiful that car is, and 84,000 bucks. Now let's go to the lowest price in the last year or so. And look at this, a 2008 M3 with 150,000 miles, so higher mileage, but only $16,000. I mean, guys, what could be better than a manual black M3 that looks contemporary? I'll wait in the comments below. Now, the average price for these BMWs is somewhere around here. Here's a beautiful one with aftermarket wheels. And as you can see, it sold for 33,000 bucks. I mean, probably middle of the ground mileage. Yeah, 80,000 miles on it, 2011, so a newer E92. And guys, 33 grand for that, that's a lot of bang for buck.
Now, the E90 M3 is easily one of my most favorite M cars, but a few things to watch out for. See, it has 2 electronic throttle actuators, one for each bank of cylinders, and they will fail over time. It's not a cheap fix unless you do it yourself, so make sure they've been replaced. Also, rod bearing failure is a thing. It's not as common as the internet wants you to believe, but it definitely does happen. So if you're gonna buy one, just make sure you factor the cost of replacing those bearings into the purchase price. Do a used oil analysis immediately and keep an eye on things. Real quick, enjoying the vid? Hit the like button and check out all these ideal deals down in the pinned first comment.
Up next, the car that wants to kill you. The Dodge Viper. Sorry, Trav. And more specifically, the 3rd generation Viper. As you may know, we actually bought a super cheap 1st gen a while back, but considering today's 3rd gen prices, we might have to do it all again. Right, Trav?
What?
Anyways, just take a glimpse of this price trend. Over the last year, 3rd gens have taken a spanking. That's a 13% hit, dropping from nearly 80 grand down to just 69K. Nice. So for Vipers, let's look for the last year. And as you can see, the highest one that sold is this 2004 for $134,000. Come on, that can't be right. Trav would say it is. Oh, it's the Mamba Edition #1, of course. But still, I mean, this is a collector piece. No one's driving it, 7 miles. All right, let's take a look at the cheapest one that sold in the last 12. And bam, 33,000 bucks, 74,000 miles, which is a Chrysler, it can go forever. And I can't think of something that's more fun topless than, well, this guy. For an average run-of-the-mill priced Viper, you're looking, yeah, here's one. Low miles, 9,000, black, beautiful. I mean, these are definitely gonna go up in value in the next couple of years. And they're gonna look good doing it.
Okay, you all know I love the Viper, and honestly, they're pretty solid cars. There are some oiling issues on the Gen 3s, which can be fixed with a modified oil pan, but besides that, they require about as much maintenance and repair as any regular car. Thing is, that V10 engine generates significant amounts of heat, which will affect cabin comfort and even the external body panels and side sills. But a little discomfort is definitely worth putting up with for a Viper. Maybe I'm biased.
Surprise, it's the curb-munching Mustang. And no, this market crash isn't for some clapped-out V6 4th gen. This is the modern S550 generation. Wow. The 2017 through 2019 Mustangs are all down more than 10% year over year. That's 3 in a row, baby. And looking at even newer S550s like the 21 and 22, by golly, they're depreciating like rental cars. Ooh, did I just say that? But don't worry, these market crashes are affecting the V8 ponies as well. Mustangs are popular. In fact, they're the #1 search term on Auto Tempest, believe it or not. And you can see a lot of transactions in the last few years. Over the last year, let's take a look at the height. Whoa, 106 for a 2019 convertible. It's the Revenge GT. And again, I mean, dealer miles are on it, 268, and that thing is pretty slick. Man, I think it looks great. Now, the lowest and cheapest one in the nation over the last 12 months, you're looking here, 50,000 miles, so relatively low miles because they're all pretty new cars, and it sold for 22,000 bucks. That looks like a lot more than 22 grand. Now, kind of where the market settled is not a car like this one, a Liberty Walk, although that is kind of cool. Can't come back from that. Is this guy right here, a 2016 with 30,000 miles for 35 grand. Now it's manual, it is modified, look at that hood, whoop. But overall, that's kind of where you're gonna be with this 6th gen GT.
Yeah, so the MT82 transmission isn't the best, but it's totally livable when it's working. And you're gonna want to really inspect the car because if it's been driven hard, various parts including the rear diff can fail. Check to see if it's making any noise and make sure you get a good PPI so you can factor it all into the negotiation.
Okay, enough of the American stuff for now, because next up is the BMW? I mean, Toyota? Supra? Yes, Supra. Yes, that's it. We're gonna disregard the fact that the Mark V Supra just isn't selling even after you guys all bullied Toyota into giving us one more go at the legendary supercar slayer, because the current used market for Mark V Supras is incredible enough on its own. In a little less than a year, the 2023 Supra has fallen from an average 67 grand to just 57, causing a nearly 15% crash. Okay, WTF Supra guys, for a car with such a big fandom and, well, fanboys, we expected the market to be way worse. But hey, it's great for those of you that want to pick one up because you just saved yourself 10 plus G's in not even a year. Plus, the 2020 and 2021 models are coming down too, at around 8% in the last year. More than you can afford, pal. Supra. And the A90 is such a great platform. And over the last year, we had one that sold for, $76,000. Now that's a 6-speed manual and well, it's obviously a brand new car. Now the lowest one that traded hands, we're looking at something like this 21 for 47. Yes, it's an automatic. It only has 2,100 miles on it because they're all pretty new, but run-of-the-mill pricing on something like this is gonna be like right here at 61,000 bucks. You got 9,000 miles on it. It's a beautiful car, except this one does have some suspension stuff done to it, huh? Whoa, wide body. You don't wanna buy that one. Let's back up and take a look at a different one, like this one right here. 6-speed manual, 2,800 miles on it, sold for 61,000 bucks. That's an ideal deal.
Yes, it shares parts with BMW. Okay, it's mostly a BMW, but that's not a bad thing. The B58 power plant is a pretty sophisticated engine, and so when looking at one, make sure it hasn't been modified and then put back to stock, because you could run into warranty trouble if you're looking at one that's new enough. That said, this motor can handle massive power, so if you're looking to slay supercars, this platform is an ideal pick.
Up next, the muscular C6 Corvette. And you, and actually probably your dad, would be surprised that used C6 are cheaper now, but you better believe it. The numbers don't lie, folks. The C6 is almost down 12% overall in the last year, from 43K down to just 37. It may not sound like a ton, but C6s are some of the best value holders out there in terms of Corvettes. And those lawn chairs sitting, New Balance wearing old guys at Cars and Coffee, well, they probably spent more than you'd think on their C6. But you don't have to nowadays, especially if you use the Ideal Car Strategies, which we just launched a brand new free workshop linked in the description below. And this creme de la crop Z06 with that 500 plus horsepower sold for under 36. And this thing ain't no joke and punches way above its weight in performance. And this one was actually upgraded to 550 horsepower. Whew, just imagine what you could get for that kind of money. Z06, yes, that scares pretty much any other sports car out there. And over the last year, the highest trading Z06 for a C6 was this guy for 335,000 bucks. What were they thinking when they bought this? Well, they were thinking that they just overspent on a Corvette by about $250,000. Now, this is a C6 RS by Pratt & Miller. It is a one-of-a-kind Corvette Z06. Now, the cheapest one sold in the last 12 months is here. 35,000 big ones with 43,000 miles for an 06 Z06 in that Arrest Me Red. I'm loving it, absolutely loving it. Now, what the average person is paying right now is roughly 53,000 bucks like this one. It's got super low miles and it's yellow, which isn't a good or bad thing, but overall, you really can't beat a Z06 when it comes to fun at a pretty affordable price.
Super solid cars. And really the only thing I'd look out for is valve guide wear on the LS7 and the Z06. There was a machining error from the factory, and if left unaddressed, yeah, it's a whole thing. Do your research so you know what you're getting into, and otherwise, bang for buck, man, hard to beat a C6.
But if there's one car that the Corvette fears, well, it's the 911, a classic matchup. And the 997.1 Carrera has a current discount that may even be better than that C6. So baby, I was right. That 20% drop in just 1 year for the 997s, that's now settled at a $47,000 range. That's great. And if you treat your 911 as I have, okay, maybe I'm not the best example, but trust me, they can be super reliable and not cost you much more than the $47,000 sale price. And if you didn't already know, 911s almost never have had this big of a crash. And they always, always, always hold their value. Wow, a lot of 997s have traded hands in the last 5 years. Now, over the last year, this is our high watermark, 88,000 bucks for an 08 coupe 6-speed manual, probably super low miles, yeah, 19,000, and in a very desirable color and spec. Now, for the cheapest one in the nation, we're looking at a hair over 30,000 bucks for one with 170,000 miles on it. These are reliable cars. They run forever with good maintenance, as Trav will tell you. But 170K for 31 grand, that's a lot of money for a car that has a lot of miles. Now, this is roughly what you'll be looking to pay for a good, well-sorted one in an ideal spec, 50 grand, like this black one. With 50,000 miles, it's lower miles. These are incredible cars to drive, to own, and the Porsche community is just awesome. So, definitely an ideal pick.
IMS, RMS, LOL. Look, the intermediate shaft bearing and rear main seal are the main issues, along with bore score on the cylinders. And the cam adjusters, those go to... Look, make sure some of this stuff has been addressed or at least inspected before a purchase, because if that's all good, this is definitely an ideal car.
So which one are you picking up using the Ideal Car strategies? Let us know below, like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and check out some of this Ideal content over here. I'm Brad the Financial Cowboy, this is Ideal, and promise me one thing, keep living the Ideal lifestyle.